Have you ever stopped to consider how your family dynamics have shaped the person you are today? This question propels us into a labyrinth of our past, a winding maze with hallways brimming with vivid recollections, invaluable lessons, and a plethora of emotions that range from the euphoria of joy to the desolate depths of sorrow. The first 10 years of our existence, more specifically our early childhood, serve as a fundamental period of understanding, growth, and learning. The way we perceive the world, the manner in which we interpret events, and the lens through which we view our surroundings are all significantly influenced by our familial environment during these formative years. Our family forms the foundation of our understanding of relationships, the essence of human connection, and our perception of our self-worth. Family dynamics, a term referring to the patterns of interaction and the ways in which family members relate to each other, plays an indispensable role in shaping our personality and influencing the individuals we eventually become. Consider these dynamics as the threads that collectively weave the tapestry of our familial life, each thread unique in its color, tone, and texture. These threads are not isolated elements, but they are significantly influenced and shaped by various factors. These can be internal factors like our parents' attitudes or the unique personalities of different family members, as well as external factors like work-related stress, school environment, and influence of friends. These external factors crucially shape the family and its dynamics in both subtle and profound ways. They act like unseen puppeteers, guiding the threads, dictating the final pattern that emerges, and in the process, our understanding of relationships and our role within them. Healthy family dynamics are a beautiful symphony of mutual respect, love, and a sense of belonging. It's akin to a well-choreographed dance where every dancer knows their role and follows the rhythm, creating a harmonious spectacle. This equilibrium allows not just the family as a unit to flourish, but each individual member to grow and develop their unique potential, nurtured by the consistent supply of love and care. On the other hand, unhealthy dynamics can inflict lasting damage. These dynamics act like a chaotic dance where the dancers are lost, confused, and hurt. Such dynamics can be as obvious as physical or emotional abuse, an incessant thunderstorm that installs an oppressive atmosphere of fear, or they could be as subtle as a constant stream of criticism or neglect, which slowly erodes one's self-esteem over time. Parents who are excessively controlling or rigid unknowingly stifle their children's inherent growth and potential, making them grow up with a skewed perception of self, their potential limited and confined by others' perceptions and boundaries. Parents who are neglectful can induce feelings of insecurity and unlove in their children, creating a void that's challenging fill. Habits like addictions and violence within the family make the household an environment of instability and fear. This adversely affects the children, casting long, dark shadows over their nascent lives. To cope, these children might develop mechanisms and behaviors which, although useful in the short run, become obstacles in their adult lives, hindering their personal and professional progress. The repercussions of unhealthy family dynamics are far-reaching and profound, often leading to issues like difficulties in managing emotions, maintaining healthy relationships, and struggles with self-esteem and confidence. Understanding these dynamics and recognizing their potential effects is the crucial step towards healing, towards breaking the cycle of dysfunction. However, it's essential to remember that while our past influences us, it doesn't define us. We possess the power to change the rhythm, to dance to a beat of our choosing, to redefine our story. With increased self-awareness, a determined resolve, and professional guidance, we can liberate ourselves from the shackles of unhealthy family dynamics and forge a healthier, happier life. We can learn new ways of interaction, create healthier patterns of communication, and choreograph a dance that's uniquely ours, reflecting our growth and learning. In this video, we shall delve into the root causes of unhealthy family dynamics and its long-term effects in life. Consider the case of John, a man whose parents were both addicts. John's life was intricately woven with the unsparing threads of addiction, the entire fabric of his existence rendered devoid of warmth, comfort, and happiness. His parents, both deeply entangled in the bleak world of substance abuse, were physical entities in his life, but their spirits, their minds, their very essence was shrouded in the thick fog of their addiction. This unfortunate twist of fate cruelly stripped John of the innocent joys and carefree spirit that are typically associated with the golden days of childhood. the environment that John grew up in reflection of an ordinary childhood home. Celebrations were overlooked, drowned in the sea of addiction, expectations were shattered into a million pieces, and neglect was a frequent, unwelcome visitor. This grim reality was their existence, hidden skillfully behind the confusing facade of substance abuse. It was a distorted mirror that grotesquely misrepresented the true nature of their tragic circumstances. John's perception of normal was as fluid as the ocean, constantly shifting and changing with the ebb and flow of his parents' monstrous addictions. His childhood was a stormy sea, marked by the unpredictability of his parents' sobriety levels, devoid of the comforting and steady presence of genuine love and care. These fundamental and crucial elements of nurture, which every child needs to thrive and bloom, were inconsistent in his life, fluctuating wildly with his parents' battles with sobriety. In this volatile, ever-changing environment, John's existence was stained with the bitter taste of neglect. His primary needs, physical and emotional, were routinely dismissed, lost in the chaotic whirlwind of his parents' addiction. At an impressionable age where he should have been carefree and joyful, he was instead thrust into a world where he had to fend for himself. He prepared his own meals, did his own chores, and tucked himself in at night, a stark contrast to the loving routine most children his age enjoyed. This early burden of responsibility hastened his transition into adulthood, an unnaturally quick pace that robbed him of his precious childhood. His emotional needs, which are as important as his physical ones, were largely ignored, neglected. His parents, who were knee-deep in their own struggles, rarely had the capacity or the mental space to address his emotional needs, fundamental to his growth. This consistent neglect resulted in John feeling invisible, worthless, a feeling that haunted his existence and followed him into his adulthood. The trauma of growing up with parents who were addicts left an indelible mark on John's emotional well-being. His life was marked by hypervigilance, as he was always anticipating the next crisis, the next disaster. This constant undercurrent of stress resulted in chronic anxiety and deep-seated depression, burdens he had to carry into his adult life, a lifelong struggle that was inflicted upon him by his parents' choices. John's story, however, is not unique. There are countless children living through similar narratives, their lives twisted and shaped by the brutal hands of addiction. Despite the insurmountable challenges, they bravely demonstrate resilience against adversity, proving their strength and tenacity. They are survivors, not victims of their parents' poor choices. They prove that it is possible to rise above the shadows of their past and create a life that's not dictated by their parents' addictions. John's story is a clear example of how parental addiction can breed an unhealthy family. Now let's look at Maria's story, a woman who grew up in a household marked by violence. Born into an environment where the sounds of fury and dominance echoed more than laughter and love, Maria's childhood was nothing short of a battlefield. Each day war, stamped with violent episodes that left deep emotional scars on Maria's tender, innocent heart. These experiences, relentless and overwhelming, demolished her inherent sense of safety and trust, brick by brick. This was no nurturing nest for her to grow. It was a terrifying maze, littered with potential dangers and a myriad of emotional wounds. A place that should have been her sanctuary was a ground that and insecurities. In this hostile environment, Maria was barely a child. She was a soldier fighting too colossal for her young spirit. She learned the bitter truth that love often came with a tragic outcome, warped within the dysfunctionalities of her family. She was forced to embrace this distorted reality as she adapted to survive, heightening her fight-or-flight response. Any hint of conflict would set her heart pounding thunderously. A drum of war, prepared for another battle. The survival instinct was a constant companion, always at the ready, molded by the grim realities of her childhood. Regrettably, Maria's constant high alert created barriers to forming healthy relationships later in her life. Trust was a mountain too high to scale, as betrayal and harm always lurked in the shadows of her mind, a sinister hangover from her turbulent past. The violent family dynamics inflicted severe damage on Maria's emotional regulation. Her emotions were akin to a pendulum, swinging between extremes. She was overwhelmed by a flood of intense feelings, while at others, she was numbed into an eerie silence. This emotional pendulum made expressing feelings appropriately challenging. It often resulted in emotional outbursts or withdrawal, further alienating her from the world. The severity of the consequences of violent family dynamics on a child's psyche was glaringly evident in Maria's story. The fear, mistrust, and emotional instability made for a shaky foundation. Building relationships and self-perception felt like constructing a skyscraper on quicksand. The unstable foundation was a constant threat, ready to pull them back into the quagmire of their traumatic past. Yet, amidst this gloom, shines as a beacon of hope, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Despite her upbringing, she was determined to rewrite her narrative. She sought help to unlearn the harmful behavioral patterns ingrained in her and learn to trust again. It was a challenging journey, each step taking her closer to healing, self-awareness, and personal growth. Maria's story is a potent reminder of the destructive effects of toxic family dynamics. It underscores the urgency to address such dynamics and break the cycle of violence that drowns the innocence of childhood in a sea of fear. It highlights the importance of providing nurturing environments where children can grow safely, where love is about warmth and caring, not fear and dominance. Maria's case shows us the destructive impact dynamics. Her story serves as a stark reminder of the urgent need to address unhealthy family dynamics, to break the of fear and violence. It emphasizes the importance of fostering environments where children can grow and flourish in safety and love. It is a call to action to ensure that no other child has to endure what Maria did, to create a world where children can savor the innocence and joy of their childhood, a world where love does not equate to. What happens when parents view children as possessions rather than individuals? Let's explore Emily's life. Emily's tale is one that unravels the complex dynamics of a family where the child is seen not as a separate individual, but as an extension of parental desires and expectations. Born into a world that she was expected to navigate independently, Emily's journey was complicated from her very first breath. She wasn't perceived as an individual entity with her unique thoughts and emotions. Instead, she was considered an appendage, an extension of her parents' identity. Her accomplishments weren't seen as her own, but as a reflection of her parents' capabilities. This mindset created a distorted mirror that made Emily's identity become entwined with that of her parents, effectively obscuring her individuality. She was raised in an environment that fostered emotional dependence. Children seek parental guidance for emotional stability. However, in Emily's case, the situation was dramatically different. She became a source of emotional support for her parents. She was their beacon of hope in life's turbulent seas, shining ray of light during the gloomiest of days. This was an overbearing responsibility for a child to bear. This unnatural role reversal had a profound impact on Emily's life. It obstructed the usual parent-child dynamics, placing a considerable load on her young, delicate shoulders. It was indeed a burden too heavy for a child to carry. Her parents unknowingly yet significantly reversed their roles. They became the ones who were nurtured, leading to a drastic skewing of the parent-child relationship. This situation did not aid in Emily's emotional development. Instead, it sucked her dry emotionally, stunting her growth mentally and emotionally. The repercussions of this dynamic seeped into Emily's very identity, molding her perception of self-worth. She grew up believing that her value was directly tied to her ability to calm others' emotional tempests, not inherent but conditional. This belief continued to influence her throughout her life, shaping her interpersonal relationships. Emily became a perpetual comforter, always ready to lend an ear, always there to help, often at the expense of her own emotional well-being. She found herself drawn to emotionally partners, unaware that she was recreating the same codependent cycle she had endured with her parents. The establishment and maintenance of boundaries proved to be a struggle for Emily. This struggle often resulted in her feeling overwhelmed and emotionally drained. She was trapped in a maelstrom of resentment, coupled with a fragile sense of self-esteem. It took her many years of therapy to recognize the unhealthy family dynamic she was brought up in and to learn healthier methods of interaction. Emily's journey is a stark illustration of the harm that can be inflicted when we treat children as emotional crutches. Rather, it serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of recognizing and respecting children as separate entities with their own needs and emotions. Emily's life story resonates strongly as a reminder that children are not possessions to fulfill emotional voids. They are separate entities, each with their own needs, thoughts, emotions, and identity. They must be allowed to grow and blossom independently, unburdened by the emotional needs of their parents. Emily's life is a stark testament to the harm that can occur when we perceive children as possessions designed to fill our emotional voids, rather than as individual beings with their own needs and emotions. It's a compelling reminder of the importance of recognizing and respecting children as separate entities. Emily's story is a resounding reminder that children are not possessions to fulfill emotional voids. They are separate entities, each with their own needs and emotions. Imagine growing up in a household where your every move is controlled. This was a reality for David. From the time he was a small child, David was subjected to an environment characterized by severe restrictions and stringent rules. His daily routines, hobbies, and even the friends that he was allowed to interact with all had to go through a process of stringent vetting and approval. His parents, driven by the desire to raise the perfect child, had laid down an uncompromising system of rules that governed every aspect of his life. This framework, which was both rigid and controlling, extended far beyond typical parental guidance. It was an all-encompassing system that sought to control every facet of David's life, imposing constant limitations on his freedom and individuality. This system, although intended to foster discipline and obedience, ended up crippling his autonomy, a vital aspect of a child's growth and development. David's early life was characterized by an atmosphere of constant surveillance and control. His parents' incessant desire to oversee every aspect of his life led to a significant stifling of his independence. His personal interests, aspirations, and dreams were all suppressed in the name of obedience. His right to make mistakes, learn from them, and grow as an individual was completely denied. This lack of freedom had a profound impact on David's personal and emotional development. As David grew older, a disturbing pattern began to emerge. Denied the opportunity to develop basic communication skills and express his thoughts freely, David struggled to make his voice heard. This inability to communicate effectively impaired his ability to form meaningful relationships and connect with other people on an emotional level. Furthermore, the oppressive control exercised by his parents severely impacted David's self-esteem. Constant critique, harsh judgments, and a lack of trust from his parents led him to question capabilities. With each passing day, David began to believe that he was insufficient, fostering a constant feeling of inadequacy that severely impacted his mental health. David's academic performance also began to suffer as he grew older. The constant questioning of his self-worth and the lack of confidence instilled in him by his parents' stringent control began to reflect in his grades. His potential and capabilities were overshadowed by the mental and emotional turmoil that he was experiencing. The oppressive control exerted by David's parents was not just restrictive, it was downright destructive. As David grew older, he began to experience trust issues, hindering his ability to form meaningful relationships. His emotional well-being was severely impacted, manifesting in severe mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. The damage inflicted by the oppressive control was far-reaching and long-lasting, affecting every facet of David's life and development. David's story serves a stark reminder of the potential damage caused by excessive control and restrictive parenting. It highlights the need to provide children with an environment that fosters autonomy, encourages self-expression, and builds self-esteem. David's story emphasizes the damage caused by excessive control in a family dynamic. It underscores the need to provide children with an environment that encourages autonomy, self-expression, and builds self-esteem. It's a call to action, a plea for change, and a warning about the potential dangers of overbearing control in parenting. The effects of unhealthy family dynamics extend far beyond childhood. Let's explore how. Unhealthy family dynamics often persist well into adulthood, creating deep-rooted issues that continue to affect individuals well past their formative years. These dynamics, often established and consistently reinforced throughout childhood, don't just disappear once we step out of the confines of our childhood homes. Instead, they become intricately woven into the fabric of our identity, shaping our perceptions of the world, influencing our interactions with others, and even determining our level of self-trust. Consider, for instance, a child whose feelings and thoughts are consistently dismissed or belittled. Such an upbringing can instill a damaging belief system that they may carry into adulthood, leading them to incessantly question their own feelings and decisions. This self-doubt can significantly affect their ability to form and sustain meaningful relationships as they grow older, fostering a pervasive fear of rejection or misunderstanding that can prove to be detrimental to their overall well-being. Furthermore, issues related to trust can surface, particularly for those who were subjected to manipulation during family disputes or whose caregivers distorted their perception of reality in their early years. For such individuals, the concept of trust becomes a complex and complicated issue that they grapple with. As they transition to adulthood, they may find it challenging to trust others, their own judgment, and may constantly be on edge, anticipating disappointment at every juncture. A lack of emotional support during childhood can also result in deep-seated self-esteem issues. If parents are emotionally detached, uninvolved, or excessively critical, children may internalize the notion that they are undeserving of love and attention. This can translate into a relentless quest for external validation in adulthood, or conversely, a tendency to emotionally withdraw from others to avoid potential hurt. The impact of unhealthy family dynamics on an individual's sense of identity is significant. Growing up in a family environment with rigid roles and little room for personal growth can suppress a child's innate sense of self. As they grow older, it can be formidable to venture beyond those roles and discover who they are without the limiting expectations and constraints of their family dynamics. Unhealthy family dynamics do indeed leave lasting scars. The repercussions of such dynamics are profound and permeating every aspect of a person's life, creating a ripple effect that can last a lifetime. However, understanding and acknowledging the extent of this impact is a crucial first step on the path to healing. The far-reaching effects of unhealthy family dynamics are far more profound than one might initially believe. They impinge on every facet of a person's life: their intimate relationships, their self-perception, and their trust in themselves and others. Recognizing these ingrained patterns and understanding their effects is the first step towards breaking the cycle. It's a challenging journey, laden with obstacles and emotional upheaval, but it's one that can lead to growth, self-discovery, and ultimately healing. Unhealthy family dynamics can indeed leave lasting scars. Indeed, the consequences of such dynamics can permeate every aspect of a life, creating a ripple effect that can last a lifetime. With time, patience, and strength, however, these wounds can heal. The journey to recovery may be arduous, worth embarking upon, for it can lead to a newfound sense of self, peace. The past cannot be changed, but the future is in our hands. So, how can we move past unhealthy family dynamics? This question has bewildered and troubled countless individuals throughout history. It's a conundrum that has been etched into the hearts of many, particularly for those who were born and raised under less than ideal circumstances. Unhealthy family dynamics can often leave individuals feeling trapped, as if they are caught in a never-ending cycle of emotional pain and turmoil. They may feel like they are constantly running in circles, perpetually stuck in the same damaging patterns of behavior and interaction. However, it is essential to remember that there is always an opportunity for change, a chance to break free from these destructive cycles and move towards a healthier, happier future. The first step in this journey towards change is acknowledging the existence of unhealthy dynamics within the family. It's about accepting the reality of your situation and understanding the negative impact these dynamics can have on your life. By recognizing the unhealthy patterns that are present, you foster a desire for change. This desire is the spark that ignites the fire of transformation. A fire that once lit can burn away the old, damaging patterns and make way for the growth of new, healthier ones. Acknowledging the need for change is just the first step in a long and often complicated process. Fortunately, we are blessed to be living in an age where there are numerous resources available to support individuals on their journey towards transformation. Psychotherapists, counselors, psychologists, and other mental health professionals can provide invaluable guidance and support throughout this journey. These professionals possess a deep understanding and behaviors. They can assist you in unraveling the intricacies of your past, helping you make sense of the experiences that have shaped you. Their knowledge and expertise can provide effective strategies for change, equipping you with the tools you need to break free from unhealthy familial patterns. Therapy is a potent tool for personal growth and transformation. It's a non-judgmental space where you can express your deepest fears, voice your most profound hopes, and explore the impact of your past on your present reality. Within the safe confines of a therapeutic setting, you can confront the ghosts of your past. It is a medium for dialogue and self-insight, aiding in understanding the patterns that have influenced your life. Beyond this, therapy also provides an opportunity for self-reflection. It's a platform for gaining a deeper understanding, actions, reactions, and the unconscious patterns that dictate them. It equips you with the knowledge to identify unhealthy responses and acquire the tools to establish new, healthier patterns of interaction. Alongside therapy, self-help books can prove to be a helpful resource. They offer invaluable knowledge, inspiration, and practical strategies based on other people's experiences. These books narrate stories of resilience and transformation, painting a vivid picture of how individuals have successfully overcome the challenges of their past to build a healthier, brighter future. Support groups, both online and offline, also play a critical role in the process. They provide a sense of community and understanding, offering emotional support, practical advice, and reassurance in times of uncertainty. They create a safe space where individuals can share their experiences, fears, and triumphs, connecting with others who are navigating a similar path. In addition to these resources, self-care is of paramount importance. Engaging in activities that bring you joy, relaxation, and peace can have a positive impact on your mental and emotional health. Regular exercise, maintaining a balanced diet, and ensuring adequate sleep are fundamental aspects of self-care. They not only promote physical well-being, but also contribute to a healthy mind and positive emotions. Setting boundaries is another crucial aspect of self-care. Prioritizing your mental and emotional health, saying no when necessary, and maintaining a distance from toxic relationships are essential for your well-being. Cultivating positive, supportive relationships can significantly enhance your healing journey. Surrounding yourself with empathetic individuals who genuinely care about your well-being can provide the motivation needed to create a healthier family environment. Embarking on this journey towards healing and transformation can be challenging, but it's important to remember that you are not alone. You have the power to break free from your past and create a healthier, brighter future. You have the capability and resources to effect change and steer the course of future. Remember, it's never too late to seek help and break the cycle of unhealthy family dynamics. You have the power to change the course of your future, and the future is indeed in your hands, so how will you choose to shape it? In this video, we've delved deeply into the complex subject of unhealthy family dynamics. This topic, often misunderstood and ensnared in societal norms, is significant due to its long-reaching effects on individuals, families, and societies. The study of these dynamics is not just a simple exercise in family psychology, but it delves into the core of societal structures and the way our interpersonal relationships shape us. We have explored the factors contributing to the formation of dysfunctional patterns within family structures, such as addiction, violence, exploitation, and emotional neglect. These elements are not random, but they are deeply woven into the fabric of the family, influencing its dynamics like an undercurrent that shapes the flow of a river. With careful observation, one can see these threads of toxicity running through relationships, affecting the way we communicate, the way we love, and the way we perceive our own worth. We've examined the profound impact of these elements and how they can lurk in the shadows of everyday life. They are not mere inconveniences, but they are triggers, alarm bells that lead individuals to question their self-worth and struggle with emotional control. These elements are like unseen puppeteers, manipulating the strings of our emotions, causing us to act and react detrimental to our psychological health. Our exploration has also included a deep dive into the role of control in unhealthy family dynamics, particularly its interaction with rigid belief systems and inflexible expectations. This rigidity can breed an environment of fear and confusion, hindering personal growth and potential fulfillment. It can create invisible walls around us, constricting our ability to express ourselves freely and pursue our dreams fearlessly. We've used real-world case studies to illustrate these dynamics in action, showing how dysfunctions can manipulate a child's perception of reality and guide their future relationships. These case studies are not mere stories, but they are windows into the lives of real people who carry the burden of these unhealthy dynamics and continue to struggle with the lasting effects. these situations up too quickly, robbing them of their innocence and casting a shadow on their childhood. The long-term consequences are not isolated to the family, infiltrate every aspect of life, including personal relationships and professional aspirations. The wounds of these unhealthy dynamics can penetrate deep, casting a long shadow over one's life. The repercussions can culminate in difficulty trusting others, struggles in academic settings, and severe identity crises. These dynamics may also perpetuate a cycle of abuse as those mistreated struggle to understand healthy relationships, potentially the abusive patterns they experienced. The journey to understanding and breaking free from these dynamics is a challenging one, often akin to climbing a steep mountain. However, there is hope beyond these dynamics. With recognition, understanding, and help-seeking, individuals can move toward healing, growth, and breaking the cycle of dysfunction. This journey is not a lonely one, but it is a path walked by many, a testament of human resilience and courage in face of adversity. Freeing oneself from these unhealthy patterns allows for healthier communication, self-perception, and relationships. The journey towards healing may be arduous, and remnants of past pain can persist, but the capacity to break free is a testament to human resilience and strength. Our shared understanding of our past, our willingness to address our issues, and our determination to change paves the way for a healthier future filled with love, respect, and positivity. This journey is not just an individual endeavor, but it is a collective effort where every step taken towards healing contributes to the overall well-being of our society. By our past and addressing our issues, we can work towards a healthier future filled with love, respect, and positivity. So, thank you for joining us this important journey. It's through dialogues like these that we can encourage change and understanding.